Did you know fasting has been a part of all our cultures for thousands and thousands of years? I thought we'd discuss the habit of fasting because, as we know right now, Ramzan is going on, and one big aspect of Ramzan is the fast that takes place all throughout the entire day. You can only eat during the night time, just after sunset and before sunrise. So, what is the deal with fasting? Why has it become such a popular thing? Let me tell you a little bit about my journey. I started fasting about, say, 8 years ago, and this is way before the whole intermittent fasting trend had started. I learned about fasting because I was fed up. I had tried every single diet known to mankind: low carb, low fat, only protein, this, that, every single thing, GM diet, and nothing seemed to be working for me because I couldn't turn any of those diets into habits that I could sustain for the rest of my life until I found intermittent fasting. Because what intermittent fasting did was it gave me control over what I was putting in my body. And as you know, fasting is a fantastic way of doing multiple things. It helps you with weight loss, it helps you with increasing muscle growth, it helps you with your bank balance because fasting ultimately is cheaper than eating normally. It helps you with rejuvenating your body. And actually, the list of things that fasting can do for you is really, really long. So, when I started intermittent fasting, I was overweight. I was close to 90, I was 89 kilos, and that is very, very heavy for me. After I started fasting, I realized that not only was my strength increasing, but also was my fat melting away. So let's understand what happens when we get into the state of intermittent fasting and why it is so beneficial and why I keep talking about it on every single channel that I have. You see, intermittent fasting is all about understanding that your body needs to rest in between meals. You realize that when we started as hunter gatherers, we did not have a constant stream of food. We had to go out, we had to hunt, we had to find food, we had to find berries, and all of that took energy. Now, all it takes for you to do is go to your kitchen, look at your fridge, see what is yummy, take it out. Junk food is at your fingertips. A phone call away, and an entire 3-course meal can land up at your house. So, you realize that we were not used to eating so much, and we're eating constantly. What fasting does is that it gives you a window where you spend time eating to your heart's content, and the rest of the time you don't eat at all. Now, the point of this is that you're giving your body rest. We don't realize this, but think about it. Food ultimately is some foreign object coming into your body, and your body is constantly trying to digest it and get rid of it as fast as possible. If you keep putting more things in, the body has to work to put it out. So as a result, what happens is that your body starts wearing down faster. The repair that's supposed to take place does not take place. For example, when I was overweight, I used to have my last meal at around 12 o'clock in the night, and then as soon as I woke up at around 6, 7, I would go to the kitchen, pick up a glass of juice and have it. There was no time for my body to recover from this, and as a result, what happens is that your blood sugar levels elevate. Now, let me break down something for you. Your entire fat loss journey is around this whole idea of blood sugar. Many people talk about calories in, calories out. That's a different theory. We'll debunk that theory later on. But for now, let's understand this principle that your body wants at all times a certain level of blood sugar to be maintained. What it does, if there is too much food coming in the form of carbohydrates, the body then produces insulin to bring that blood sugar down. Very often what happens is that it goes down way below, and then you need to eat more because you feel hungry to bring it up again. So as a result, you're constantly in this state of too much blood sugar, too little blood sugar, too much blood sugar, too little blood sugar. Now, when your blood sugar goes up and insulin is produced, that insulin takes the sugar and either puts it in your muscles or your organs, or then it turns it into fat. Now, if you're constantly eating so many carbohydrates, for example, if you had idlis and dosas for breakfast, if you had rice for lunch, and if you had chapatis and parathas and all of that yum stuff for dinner, guess what? You've just eaten a lot of carbohydrates. Your body has the ability to absorb about 1 idli's worth of sugar. And how many idlis do you end up eating? A lot more, right? How many pancakes do we end up eating? How many slices of bread do we end up eating? And hence our blood sugar spikes. When we fast, what happens is we give our body 16 hours of a maintained blood sugar. That means there are no spikes taking place. Instead, your body is now using up all the stored blood sugar that is there, all the energy that is there. And then what it does is then it taps into the next energy source that is available, which is your fat. You know, when you look at your stomach and you see it and you have a nice bulging stomach with lots of fat on it, that is nothing but your energy reserve. There is no need for you to keep eating for energy. There is need for you to keep eating for macronutrients and proteins and all of that, yes, but there is no need for more energy. You already have a lot of it in your body stored as fat. So with the intermittent fasting, we are able to tap into these fat reserves, tap into these energy sources, bring them out and actually use them for something. Otherwise, what happens is that you don't end up using them for anything. It just keeps storing, it keeps storing. And your body then becomes like a storage warehouse. You know, you first buy one warehouse and you fill that up. Then the body says, oh no, we need to expand, and then builds a second warehouse. And then you have to say, oh no, we need more space. And that's how your body keeps growing. Your body is nothing but storing energy because it hopes that one day it's going to get a chance to use it all up. One day there might be a famine and you will be hungry. There is no chance for a famine happening in our life. So as a result, fasting helps you with weight loss and fat loss because it allows you to tap into this reserve of energy that is there and start using it. So now the question is, how do I start using, or how do I start intermittent fasting? You can start intermittent fasting by making it a habit. And if you're wondering how to make a habit, you can obviously go and join our online masterclass because it teaches you how to create habits. It's a 3-day program and you have lots of videos afterwards. We have the perfect morning routine as part of this, where I talk about not having breakfast and intermittent fasting. So make sure you go and check that out. It's in the link below. To start fasting, what I suggest you do is make sure that you don't eat anything for 12 hours. Now I know 12 hours sounds very scary, but it's actually not. 12 hours is nothing but stopping to eat at 8 o'clock and then having your next breakfast at around 8 o'clock. That is very simple. After 8 in the night, remember, nothing goes into your mouth except water. So not even a peanut, not even a raisin, not even a date, nothing goes into your mouth except water. In the morning, you wake up, you can have your water, and then you have your first meal at 8. Simple, start at 12 hours. Now, as we said in the masterclass, if you want to keep going and progressing, and you should, then the next stage is to do it for 13 hours, 14, 15, and then ultimately reach the stage of 16 hours of fasting. Now, I know 16 hours of fasting sounds so scary, especially if you've never done it before. Trust me, I felt the same way as you. But now I do 5-day fasts. So 16 hours don't seem that scary. I know that the body can handle it and I know the body needs it. That is the most important point. So what does 16 hours look like? If you stop eating at 9 o'clock in the night, your next meal is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Very simple. Everyone can do it. So don't worry about what will I eat, how will I feel. It's a very simple process. Start small, start at 12 hours and slowly start increasing. I remember a few years ago, I did what is called 1 meal a day, OMAD, all right? That was just one big meal that I ate at 6 o'clock every single day. And the first few days were scary. I felt a little woozy, but then after that, it was so simple. It was so easy because I felt my energy levels stayed constant throughout the day. Very often when we eat, our energy goes all over the place. We feel tired, we feel sleepy. How many times do you feel sleepy after lunch? Don't you feel sleepy after lunch? Exactly. So imagine when you're fasting, there is no drop of energy and you feel that vibrancy again. The last reason that I would want you to try fasting is I want you to have food give up its control on your life. Food takes control of our life and then we become a slave to food. When you fast, you feel like you're in control. That food is not gnawing on your heels. I made all my clients try intermittent fasting and they all love it only because they felt that energy, they felt that they were in control of their lives now and they weren't constantly looking for where my next meal is coming from. So what I suggest is you try fasting too. I want to know if you've ever done fasting or intermittent fasting. Tell me in the comments below if you have. If you have, let me know what your experience was like. If you have questions, let me know what the questions are. You can feel free to mail me as well. I'll put my email address down. And let's have a conversation on intermittent fasting. Maybe we will start a challenge and do intermittent fasting together for 30 days. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit subscribe and that bell icon because it really helps us out. Also give us a like. The like helps the algorithm know this is a good video. I'm Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and remember, awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.